Hello my lovelies, welcome to my channel Just the Tip Nails. My name is Elise and I'm coming to you with another video. This one is a product review for Born Pretty. I am super excited. I love collaborating with this company. They come up with wonderful polish options and not just polishes, non-stick gels, base coats, top coats, you name it, they've got it. And I'm super appreciative of my rep, June, who comes to me with different products to review and she gives me the space to be creative and come up with different types of ideas that I wouldn't normally come up with given the circumstances. So yeah, I'm really excited for this video. Welcome if you are new, welcome back if you are returning. It has been a minute since I have made a video. I recently had the pleasure of caring for somebody very near and dear to me, and it's one of those situations where they have cared for you for a substantial amount of time in your life, and you are getting the privilege, not the opportunity, the privilege to return the favor. And so I was really excited about that, and it meant a great deal to me. So I am happy to be back at my nail desk, and I am happy to be interacting with all of you. So if you are having a good week, or if you have been blessed in some way, leave a comment down in the comment section and let me know what's going on in your life. And yeah, so let's get into it. I have this package here from my rep, June, and she said she had a what do you call it? A collection. I got to choose between the collections, or did I? I'm not sure. But it's a collection nonetheless. And let's get into this package and see what we have here. Conch Spirit. And that sounds very mermaidy to me. So I think that's kind of what this aesthetic is going to be. Alright, and whenever you purchase a collection from Born Pretty, it always comes with a how-to little pamphlet of how to apply, prep your nails, application, and this one includes a magnetic section, so I'm wondering if one of these is a cat eye. This is a collection of 6 colors with a peekaboo viewer, so you can see the color poking through the bottle. And these are 7 ml bottles. Okay, let's see, we've got, let's get these in order. 3, 4, and 5, 7. So this is, wait, I can pick them all up at the same time. This is what we are looking at. Okay, so what I'm going to do is clear the space and put down a dental bib, and we are going to swatch these colors and see what we have. So give me a moment and I will get right back with you. All right, my lovelies, I am all set up, and I would like to warn you that today is the day after it is July 5th. And July 4th is the day that we celebrate our country's independence from the monarchy of Britain, which was in 1776, I believe. And so we celebrate that with fireworks. And depending on where you live, there is a certain amount of time you are allowed to continue using fireworks after the date of independence. And so in our, in our town, you have until the day after, I believe. So tonight's the last night, and people are squeezing it in. At the moment, it is 9:52. I think people have until 10 o'clock to set off their fireworks. And while this is a stunning display of our independence and defiance, if you will, for some people it is not the best time of year when you consider the people who are fighting for our country and suffer from PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Loud noises and flashes of light can be very triggering to them. So I'm sure for some people it is a bittersweet time of year. So if you hear anything in the background, any loud popping, that is what that is. It's while beautiful it is, it can be a little distracting as well. So we are going to get into this swatching. This is the Conch Spirit Collection, and it goes from JG03 to JG08. Okay. And while I had mentioned cat eye previously, these are not cat eyes. They are beautiful glitters. I had to take a sneak peek and see what I was working with so I could be prepared. This is JG03, and it is a beautiful like micro glitter, and I think all of these are pretty much micro glitters. This one is like oh gosh, it's like purple and blue, and I kind of get like a red effect from it. And I have been out in the sun. My child is playing soccer this summer, and he had 4 games today, back to back. Well, there was like 30 minutes in between, but for that time period, we were out in the sun baking for like 5 hours. This one is, I'm sorry, I'm just jabbing away. This is JG04, and it is a mix of purple and blues. Very pretty. And I will do a second coat so you can get the full effect. I don't know about you, but I do not, especially when I'm wearing extensions, I do not like for my nail to show through. That is a huge pet peeve of me. I feel like that gives away the effect of them not being your real nails. So if you can see the glue underneath, I don't like that. I don't like if you can see your nail through it. So I like coverage when it comes to the polish and applying extensions. This is JG05. And this is pinky purple vibes I'm getting. Here we have, let's see, JG06. I have to say that my favorite type of firework to set off are mortars, and they are like the big kabooms. I used to be so afraid of fireworks, literally, like until I was in college. So I want to say I was 20 years old before I could comfortably appreciate fireworks. This is a purpley, this is just mostly purple in it. Very pretty. This one is JG07. Beautiful blue. And really, it's like a blue-green. And as you can see, they are very sheer colors. So you can layer them or put them on top of like an opaque color to add a little pizzazz to them. This is JG08. I am loving these colors. They are screaming mermaid to me. And they're coming across a little bit darker than what they are in the bottle, if I'm going to be honest. Because this is like bright green. I wonder if there's something that I can do to the color to bring out. I don't think so. but I am going to do a second coat. Excuse me. I'm going to do a second coat and top coat these so you can get the full effect of the color and the glitter. And I will get right back with you. Alright. Alright, you guys, this is what we are working with. Beautiful colors, very mermaid-like. Super excited about these. I have a couple of ideas in my brain that I'm going to have to pull out, but oh gosh, look at that. Beautiful. So we will see what we can do with what we have got. And I'm super excited. So hang around if you are interested in seeing what the outcome is. All right, lovelies, bye. All right, my lovelies, I think I have everything together. I chose a few colors. We are going with the number 8, number 6, number 5, and number 3. And the number 6 and number 5, these two right here, are similar but different. The one on the right kind of has like a goldish shift, while the one on the left has like a pinky purple shift to it. And I would even add a little bit of blue in there as well. So we are going to be doing some vertical ombres, and I'm super excited. I never do vertical ombres. I really don't do ombres in general. So I'm trying to get out of the box and try some new things. So this is the set that I came up with, and if you can, I don't know if you can see from this angle, if I get closer, I don't know if you can see it, but I did a kind of textured fish scale look, and I don't know if when you top coat the impression that's made in the gel, it kind of takes away from the depth of it. So I'm going to do my darndest to add the slightest amount of top coat once I finish showing you how I did this textured design. So before we begin, let me get my gloves on, and here's one I did previously, and I think you can see it a little better, but I used more product with this nail than I did with the other one. But anyways, as always, I love Born Pretty products. I was really excited at the fact that these they're super glittery. Even with one coat, it looks amazing, and 2 coats, it looks even better. Highly pigmented. So let's see, and it's kind of, as far as the pigment goes, I think it shows up really well for being a sheer color. So let us begin with a clean slate. I have buffed these nails, so I won't be applying a top coat. So what I'm going to be doing is applying number, let's see, this is JG3 on the thumb and the pinky. And I'm going to do 2 coats of this. I'll do 1 coat on camera And the second coat I will do off camera because it's the same exact thing. But I just love the amount of sparkle that is in this polish. It's beautiful. And their polishes always go on smoothly and self-level very well. I think there is, yep, fuzzy. I just figured out, well, not just, but like probably 2 videos ago, how to program my camera so that I can have stuff in the background while I'm working in the foreground. That used to irritate me so much because it would change the focus and things would go blurry randomly. It took a lot of internet research, but I figured out how to do it. I need a little more on this one. All right, I am going to put these in the oven and bake them for 60 seconds, and I will be right back. Okay, I have done the second coat. Look how beautiful. And not too sheer, so it won't show anything underneath. Well, as far as like the glue goes, it won't be very apparent. What else? Okay, so we are going to do a vertical ombre on the index and the ring fingers. And we'll be using, let me flip these guys around. Focus, JG06 and JG05. I love this pink. I like all the colors, really. I'm going to try and stay in frame. And I'll be doing this twice, so I'll be doing 2 coats of the ombre. All right, that is one side. We'll go with the other side. All right, and to ombre these, I'm just going to get a detail brush and kind of swirl down the center. Okay. That looks good to me. I'm gonna let it sit for a second. And oh, these gloves, you guys, it's a challenge. I'm gonna let it sit for a second and hopefully it will level out a little bit so we won't have those little swirl marks in it. And we're gonna go on to the next nail. I always hold my breath, like I'm gonna pass out one day. I'll be filming this video and all of a sudden everything will go dark. That would be my luck. Okay, so we got the 1/2. Do the other half. Okay. I'm not going to give this a little swirly swirl down the center. All right, so I am going to put these in and toast them for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to go back in with a second coat, same colors on each side, and I will be back with you in just a minute. All right, we are back, and I have blinded myself trying to fix the light and make it a little bit better, but this is what we are working with. I love the transition from the pinky color, oh, now it's really bright. From the pink color to the goldish color, there we go. Very nice transition. Okay, so we are going to do the same thing with the middle finger, except we're going to be changing colors. We're still going to be using the JG06. We're going to throw in the JG08, which is a beautiful, like, green mermaid tail color. And this camera does not do it justice. Look how pretty that is. We are going to use this on 1/2 of the nail. Gotta remember to breathe. Okay, so we are going to switch it up and go with the pink. I'm going to try my darndest not to overlap. Oh, I did it. Okay, so this is, there's my thingamajig. Got a huge fuzzy on here. It's my bunny. Get bunny hairs everywhere. Alright, so We are going to do our little swirl action and kind of mix these two together. Alright. Flip it upside down for a second. I am going to stick this in the oven to bake for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to go back in and do a second coat, and I will see you in a minute. Okay, so here is what it looks like with the second coat on, and I'm pretty satisfied with that. So this next part we're going to be doing to the index and the ring finger, and we're going to be using the Born Pretty nonstick hand extension nail gel, and I am going to say that there's a chance that I'm not going to be able to use my gloves with this. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try not to take my gloves off, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a heaping spoonful of this nonstick hand gel, and I'm going to apply it over the entire surface, and this is how much I'm using, so a lot. I can always take some of it off. But it also depends on what kind of effect you want. I will say the thinner the amount of nonstick gel that's on there, the least effective it's going, or the least amount of effect it's going to have. It's not going to be very deep in there. And I'm going to use this silicone tool to kind of spread it over the surface. And I could have done this a little bit nicer. That would be my dog, Ripley. She's worked up about something. Which is always the case. Alright, so I'm just continuing to spread, and you can see, maybe you can get an idea of how thick this is, and I still have more to spread out, so it won't be that thick per se. And I'm going in and making sure that the sides stay pretty crisp. And I'm also making sure that I don't have any going underneath the nail, because I don't want that to affect the way that I apply the nails when I decide to wear them. Alright, so it is at the tip. Now I'm going in and I'm looking at the, I don't know if you'd call it, I'm looking at it from the side to make sure that it has the right shape. And making sure that it goes all the way to the edge without going underneath the nail. got a little bit of extra. I find that these, what are they? Nitrile gloves work really well for the nonstick hand gels. Any other type of glove that I use, it sticks to it. And it makes it next to impossible to get off my gloves and work with, even with using alcohol. So if you are having that issue, you might try getting the nitrile gloves. And I'll show you this is what I am using. Okay, so I have patted it all down. I've looked at it from every angle to make sure that the surface looks nice. So what I'm going to do is, where is my, oh gosh. Oh, here we go. I am going to put this down and show you. I have a straw here, and I have taken half, I've cut it in half so that I have like a little lip. And that's what's going to give me the fish scale pattern. And I am not the greatest at this part, but we're going to try this together. You're going to press the straw into the gel, and it's going to leave an imprint, which you can see right there. And you're going to overlap your next row. So where the two meet, that's where you're going to put your next impression. And I'm not pressing down too hard because I don't want the straw to slip and pull at the gel. It's a little challenging trying to see where, trying to do this in a way that you can see what I'm doing. That one came off a little wonky. And if it goes south, you can always start over. You just pat it out and reshape it. Oh, I think that got a little wonky. That's okay. It's okay. Feel like I need. Alright, so you can see a little bit what we're going with, and you always want to make sure afterwards you go in and pat down the sides again because the straw kind of pushes it out a little. So can you see the pattern? that is what we are going to go with for this nail. And I'm going to go ahead and bake it. Sometimes that stuff can settle and you'll lose the detail. So we're going to try this again. I'm going to get my handy dandy spoon and dig out a substantial amount of gel. And if you don't have enough, you can always add more. But I feel like it's a lot easier taking away from it than it is adding to it. So we got our little lump of hair. We're going to pat it out. I hope you guys had a great 4th of July, Independence Day. Ours was pretty nice. Grilled, and see, this is what I'm talking about. You look under here, you can see where some of the gel has gone underneath the nail. I'm just gonna get that out and blend it with the rest of the gel. And I feel like I need a little more. Okay, sorry about that. My camera died. Alright, so I'm going to get a small amount because I really don't need that much. I'm going to add it to the tip. And this is probably going to be too much, but I would rather have too much than not enough, especially going back in for a second time. All right. I am looking at it from all of the angles. Making sure that it's flat and not too bulky. Got a little extra on the tip. Put it back in the jar. Alright, I think I can live with this. Alright, so I'm going to start the imprinting process again. So try to remember to breathe. I think I did this one thicker than the other one. I saw this done on a Vetsy, was it TikTok commercial? So this is definitely not something that I came up with by any means. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Alright, so that is this one. I wonder if that doesn't really help you see it any better. But you get the gist. I'm going to go ahead and bake this one. Let me tap out the sides so they don't look weird. Alright, so after that is all said and done, I'm going to go over it with some top coat. And this is where you have to be very careful because too much top coat will fill in the gaps in the imprint, and then it'll just look smooth and lumpy. And that's what you don't want. And it's really hard to see it with my camera. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my top coat. This is just some glass top coat, and I'm going to scrape it along the inside of the bottle and get all the excess off. And then I'm just going to use kind of like almost I guess a quote-unquote dry brush to go over it. And it looks like this may have, I don't know if it's settled, because one part of it is very smooth. And I don't know how that happened. Okay, so something to consider is if you use a thick or a thicker layer of the gel, it's going to settle. So you want to do it as quickly as possible. That's the only thing that I can think of that happened with this one, because this is the last one that I did. and it just looked like it melted. But it's all right. I'm going to dip my brush in again, wipe off the excess, and go over Alright, that's how that one is looking. And then I'm going to go over the rest of the nails with a regular layer of top coat. Gotta seal in the freshness. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to let this cook for 60 seconds and I will be back with you. Alright, my loves, these are the beautiful colors we swatched today. This is the Conch Spirit Polish Set, 6 colors, very mermaidy. And we also used the non-stick hand extension gel, the clear one. This is the look that we came up with. I hope you like it, and I hope you will try this technique. It's pretty fun. You just have to be a little quick if you're using a thick layer of extension gel. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining me. It means so much. Thank you to those of you who are returning, and thank you very much to those of you who just found my channel. I encourage you to subscribe and comment below if you have any tips or tricks or suggestions that I might use as far as techniques or products or anything in general. Tell me how you're doing, how your week is going. I wish you the absolute best. Take care, my lovelies.